Welcome back to the shrine. I know, long time, no talk. I was busy making short videos for you guys, and now I'm making a long video. Hopefully this will be somewhat longer than all the short videos that recently came out, so that the 100 guys who will ever watch it they will have something to talk about. This is a motor from some woodworking equipment that is not motoring, and I don't even know where it really comes from, but it's not working, I was told. So we're gonna go and investigate, see what's wrong with it. Join me, maybe we can figure it out together. Let's plug it in. Turn it on, turn it off. Nothing is happening. Turning the knob. Nothing. Maybe turning the motor. Nothing is really going on. So where would you start? Well, the first is, let's see this on-off switch. On some of the older Craftsman pieces, you can remove this switch. You can physically remove this switch to lock it. Well, not on this one. Let's take this cover off and see if the switch is providing power. So there's the switch, some sand dust inside. Not sure how it got in there. Let's do a quick measurement. See if the beeper is beeping. Okay, so that's this side. Let's turn it on. Okay, so the switch is working. We can double check the other side. So you can see there's a white wire here, which has a wire nut on it, and there's some insulation tape. So I'm guessing that is good. And then the center tab is the green wire down there. So there's a green wire, grounding wire. So let's proceed to taking these bolts out, see what's inside. Oh, look at that. The whole thing comes apart. This entire thing comes apart. I'm just gonna unplug the cable terminals from the switch, so that allows me to pull this off. So what we got here is a brushed motor. You can see the brushes here on both sides, and then the commutator looks worn, but it looks good. And I'm not sure about the brushes. I'm gonna go and investigate them later, but I don't see any black spots on the armature. So this is the commutator, and then the armature is down there. So I'm turning it around. I don't see any phases that would be fried. And I'm looking at the stator. So these are the stator coils on both sides. I don't see any black stains on it. So I'm assuming that we're gonna have some issues with the electronics here. So one thing I noticed is you can see that this cable got pinched here. I reconnected the main switch, so you can see power comes in through this wire and then goes from the switch into the motor. One of the wires is connected to this brush, and the other wire goes into this electronic device. And then on the other side we have another brush here which is connected to the field coil, and then this wire comes out and it connects to the switching device. So here is just a quick connect, and so in this case the field coil is connected to the armature in series. So one of the things I usually look at here is to see if any of these components, the passive components, are blown, especially this switch here. So this large switch is switching the voltage, and that's how they do the speed control. So this is just a potentiometer here. So this potentiometer with the IC is switching that voltage and essentially turning this transistor on and off. This might be a MOSFET, and this is just a big oh, look at that thing. Maybe I found the issue. See that resistor there? See it just flopping in a breeze? So this resistor, the lag of the resistor is broken. So the resistor is not mounted to the PCB. You see, it's just being held there by these terminals, by these connectors here, the lead wires that come out, and one of them is broken. So maybe that's all it needs. So let's go and solder it back in and see if it helps. We're just gonna go and put a little bit of solder in here. And then just solder the legs back together, this connector. So that operation is done. Now we can give it a try to see if it works. I need to be careful so it doesn't run away. So bear with me for a moment. Well, let's give it a try. I got it mounted in a chuck. Let's see if it's off. Let's turn it on. Oh, look at that. It's working like a hot damn. For good measure, we're going to dispense some of this Performax all-purpose glue stick material right between the resistor here and then the board, and that's just going to help to stabilize it. Yeah, I know what you think. The resistor is going to heat up and turn this into a mush. Well, when it's not heated up, it's going to serve a purpose, and this should have been done in the factory. And that would have prevented this happening. So essentially what's going on here is when the motor is running at high speed, it is generating vibrations. This armature that rotates inside is balanced to a certain extent, but it doesn't have a perfect balance. So what happens is, it's shaking and rattling, and so it's got this plastic housing. You can see it's sharing the plastic housing with the electronics, and so whatever forcing function or vibration comes out of the motor, this board is going to see that. And so these large components on a board, they're going to vibrate. So there's nothing wrong with these little capacitors or this potentiometer, but you can see this large resistor here, and then there's two more of them. You see, these are just flopping in the breeze, And so when it's doing that, it is just essentially fatiguing out the leads of those components. So I might go and dispense some of this magic batter for these two guys here, so that it will have a fighting chance against those vibrations. So that's pretty much it. It's ready to be assembled once the glue dries, and then I can test it again. So all the wires are fished back. I just wanted to point your attention to these inserts here. So this is before they used plastic screws. You can see that these are inserts placed in the plastic, and then they use regular screws, just machine screws that go right in there. So that tells you the age of this contrivance. All the parts and the wires just went back without any problem. So one thing left here is to put this switch back. And then I got supplied a box of stuff here, and I'm guessing this is the speed control nameplate, and then there's a knob, but there is no screws. So this is 5, 4. It's interesting that you can see the speed is not linear. This is not a linear potentiometer. So this is 1, you can see I turn it 45 degrees, 2, 45 degrees, 3, and then 60 degrees, 4. And then I turn 180, and that's 5. So let's give it another try and test. Works without any problems. I think the bearings will be the next to go, but otherwise it's in good shape. So with all that, thanks again for joining and checking out this repair job, which was successful, and see you on the next video. Bye. Oh yeah, don't forget to subscribe and all that stuff, you know.